Every time you choose to not speak up in your relationship is another step you take towards resentment. Silence of your voice in your relationship is literally the breeding ground for resentment. It's like having a spill somewhere of food and you never clean it up, and it becomes a breeding ground for mold and, just dirt to collect and just to form, right? You're leaving unresolved things to fester. I get the idea for a lot of you that tries to say it's the more peaceful path, just to not say anything at all, or just go about your business, or just shut down and walk away from the conversation. Completely understand. But every time you do that, you're working against yourself internally. Because, yeah, you escape the initial and the immediate uncomfortable experience that you didn't want to have, right? Of it being conflict or being tension or whatever. But you escape it momentarily for the resentment you have to carry later. So in reality, you're not really maintaining your peace. You're giving yourself immediate pleasure, right? Comfort for long-term misery, for long-term pain, right? Towards actually building an enemy out of your partner. See, what resentment really becomes is us progressively and over time evolving a negative outlook and perspective on the person we're supposed to love the most and we're supposed to work with the best to have the best life together with. So no matter how they're operating, how they're being, you're letting them down and yourself down whenever you don't speak up, right? Just on a self-care, self-love type of space, you definitely need to speak up for yourself if there's things that are happening that really bother you and don't sit well with you and infringe upon your physical, mental, or emotional well-being, right? Boundaries, right? Infringing on boundaries that put you in a space or a state to not be the healthy, happiest version that you can be, that you need to be you, right? You can't now be the person that you want to be to your partner. So now they're getting a partner that's not happy, and they are getting to live in a space of ignorance and not being truly aware of how their actions are impacting you, which doesn't serve them being the better version of themselves that they want to be. And if your issue is, I don't say much because my partner's too defensive and they won't hear it and won't embrace it, then now you just learn quicker that they may not be the person, the partner that's meant to make it to the finish line with you. So doing that uncomfortable thing and leaning into the conversation, leaning into the conflict, but just leading with love, because it doesn't have to be a catastrophe. It doesn't have to be super negative and toxic, right? It can be a positive outcome, right? But you lean in, and even if they're not going to be that in their end, you learn either one or two things. Either you learn I can build this muscle to work through the uncomfortable conversations with my partner, and actually on the other side, there's, resolve and peace over there and harmony. Or I come to learn quicker that my partner is not in a space or stage of their life to where they can actually reciprocate and work with me. And I may need to part from them at this time in the season of my life and make space for a person that can, right? Either or, but you get to your truth in a conclusion that is actually more serving to you and to your partner, no matter how you slice it. If you need help learning how to build the muscle, the comfortability to sit in your truth and speak up and not become a breeding ground for resentment within yourself, which will ultimately wind up sabotaging your relationship, either email or DM me coaching, and we will get to work as long as you're truly ready to put the work in. Let's get it.